Hello everybody, it's Bree. This is my first workout since the quarantine began.
Right? Put pressure through the feet. Put that knee out.
No, 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 no.
You play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
No, 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 hell no.
Put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame.
Well, what can I say other than I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. It was exactly what I was expecting. And what I was expecting was
retarded, like really retarded.
all of the reasons in my last video of why the Marvels will fail were founded. It was storyless, with bland girl boss characters, poor CGI, and an awful script that felt like it was cobbled together by bubbles. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware, the Marvels focuses on Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, whose powers become entangled when big bad girl boss and angry soccer mum, Karen the Accuser, finds and activates the other bangle that Miss Marvel possesses. You know the one whose grandma sent her the bangle via DHL. Anyway, this now means anytime one of the Marvels uses their powers, they switch places. Unless, of course, the plot doesn't want them to, and then they stay exactly where they are using their powers.
Put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame.
Karen the Accuser's beef with Miss Marvel is that Miss Marvel destroyed Master Control on the Kree planet, which for some reason meant that the Krees had a civil war with each other, and it left the Krees planet without atmosphere, a sun, or oceans. Did they tell us how or why that happened? No, of course not. Don't question, just consume. So guess what Karen needs to do? She needs to first get some atmosphere. So she goes to the first planet where the Skrulls are now living to suck it dry of atmosphere. Are Skrulls and Krees made up of the same materials and can breathe the same atmosphere? Not a fucking clue. But Karen uses the bangle anyway, which is apparently an item forged to create the jump gates around the galaxy. And she uses this to create an unstable jump gate. She bangs it against her Hammer Fist 5000 and creates an unstable gate back to her world. How does that work and why? Dunno. Anyway, this film should have ended here on this planet, because the three lesbos get there, and while Captain Marvel flies around and the other two just usher Skrulls into a ship to escape, what the lady should have actually done was destroy Karen's ships, leaving her stranded on this world to suffocate. But like much of the film, during the fight scenes, there's a lot of hesitancy on their part, and Karen obviously gets away. Now, I know fuck all about the character Monica Rambeau, but I didn't realise she was all of a sudden Iron Man level genius. From WandaVision, I just thought she was a captain in the US Air Force. But hey, we need more women in STEM. From there, a bit of fuckery ensues, and then we go to the next world, which is that fucking singing planet which you've been seeing in the trailers, which is basically just a poor man's version of a Bollywood film. I mean, this is what it looked like, compared to how a Bollywood film looks. Which has a lot more energy, a lot more dynamic, and they're a lot more fun. It was basically a singing world where you had to sing for them to understand you. That being, you had to sing in English, but they couldn't understand you if you just spoke English. But the guy they go to see, the ruler, who Captain Marvel is married to, is apparently bilingual and can speak English, but also sing it. Anyway, Karen ends up turning up with her teeth, and she claims the oceans for herself, creates another portal, and sends the oceans back to her world. Another generic Marvel fight scene ensues, and the girls end up flying away. What happened to the planet and its water and its inhabitants being sucked away? Who knows? What actually happened to the Krees planet when this tsunami level of water comes pounding into their planet? Does it just calmly fill up their planet? Is it enough water? Is it too much water? Does it create a tsunami and kill everyone? Who knows? Who cares? Just consume it, for God's sake.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Anyway, a bit more padding happens from that planet onwards before we get to the final planet, which is Earth, because now Karen's there to steal the sun. They catch up with Karen, who's right by the sun, and as we expect, final boss fight ensues. But again, with a lot of hesitancy, to the point of letting Darben take her time to put both bangles on so she'd become fully powered by them.
What the fuck?
And you just think, why are you not blasting her? The three of you are just standing there watching her. Well, two of you. Miss Marvel's on the floor. But at any point, she could have taken a serious blast to the head. But no, we'll just let her get fully OP'd. Now, I'm not really going to spoil the ending. I'm sure you can imagine what happens there, but Professor Rambeau comes to the rescue with a conclusion of what's happened and the only way to fix it. Because, women in STEM.
Put another gay diverse woman in it. Make it more fucking lame.
Now, this film is a fucking mess. And once again shows us why the Marvel Universe has been nicknamed the MCU. All main characters were female. All male characters were pathetic, stupid or wimpy. Miss Marvel's mum throws herself on top of her husband to save him because, she's braver because she's a woman, obviously. And Miss Marvel's brother is just like a wet weekend in Bognor. He's pathetic. The character Samuel Jackson is playing, I've never seen before in my life. I'm not sure who he was supposed to play because it certainly wasn't Nick Fury. Who he was playing was some old, feeble, stupid man who hadn't got a fucking Scooby what was going on. It was like the girls were taking their dim-witted granddad out at the home for a zoo visit for the day.
They're going to take away your name, give you a number and a sledgehammer, and say, get to work.
What was bad? Jesus Christ, what wasn't? Firstly, the CGI. This was next level awful. Yes, the render of different worlds and cities looked pretty good, but everything else looked really bad. Like, really fucking bad. It was as if no one could give a fuck how this looked. When I saw Captain Marvel fly in space with that flirking cat on her shoulder, my eyes rolled so hard they nearly fell out onto the lap of the person in front of me.
Ha! Gay!
The costumes were like something off AliExpress in the 11/11 sale. Again, no attention to detail, they looked cheap and rushed. The film was labelled as wacky, but there was nothing amusing about it. To be fair, I laughed once with something Miss Marvel said. Now, that might just be me, and I might just be a moody old bastard.
Fuck off.
But what they were trying to do was really, really forced. The majority of the laughs, actually, in the cinema where I was, came from people laughing at the cats eating people or throwing stuff up. Without them, there would have been absolute flirking silence. Valkyrie turns up at one point to take Skrull immigrants. They just give it proper lesbo vibes between her and Captain Marvel.
Lesbos! How dare you!
Like they're besties who like to scissor, although I'm sure they've only ever met once and that was at Endgame. Miss Marvel's family are throughout this movie. They're designed to be some sort of comedy relief, but they were just fucking annoying. Karen the Accuser is by far the worst villain they have had for the Marvels. Even worse than Kang, who was supposed to be a threat, but he fucking gets defeated by everyone he encounters. Female Loki, Ant-Man and his daughter, and Loki. Karen has absolutely no screen presence, and her intimidation level is minus 350.
I want to look fucking mean. Of course you'll look mean. You'll look really scary.
They make her out to be pretty invincible. She can take blasts from Captain Marvel and the girls, but ends up getting stabbed with a sharp bit of metal. It's almost as bad as Thor in Ragnarok, the god of thunder, who can harness immense amount of electrical power to wipe out hundreds of enemies, but gets knocked out by an electric shock to the neck. Good one. The good things about this. I've got one thing I can think of, and that is actually the character Miss Marvel. She's a lovely character and she's actually really sweet and she had some really funny moments. Did she feel like a superhero? No, not really, but that might just be her age. She just felt more like a fangirl. Now, all in all, it's a pretty poor film from start to finish. Remarkably, a lot of women in the theatre that I went to seemed to enjoy it, including a dad sitting next to me with his daughter, who was laughing so hard at the cat scenes, I actually imagined he kept his balls in a little lady's purse.
I'm a lady. I don't have a testicle.
I just thought, what the fuck are you laughing at? Because it ain't funny. But hey, it is subjective, and I am a grumpy old bastard.
Goddamn right.
Personally, I wouldn't waste my money going to see this. It's everything wrong with Marvel, and the reason Marvel as a franchise is now dead. This will be the final nail in the coffin, considering the opening weekend is the worst in Marvel's history. Now, if you don't know already, most of the Marvel films that were due to be slated this year and next year have been pushed back, and you have to wonder who will even be interested in watching these when they come out. I believe Deadpool 3 will get a good outing if they keep it R-rated. But as for the others, I think the interest will be dead in 2025, and they'll get the same box office the Marvels are getting now. You know, it is really sad to see, as I was a huge Marvel fan, and I went to see every film when they came out before Disney bought them. Because let's face it, Disney has now turned this male franchise into a female one, and it's killed it. I mean, what a way to single-handedly destroy an IP that was by far one of the easiest cash cows you could ever hope to have. But hey, that's what I think. Let me know your comments and thoughts.